Hi, welcome to this special program organized by the Central Committee for the Palotaka Centenary Celebration. My name is Winnie Cirino and I am the host of this program. Well, this program literally focuses on stories from our elders, former residents of Palotaka, and people who have been part of Palotaka. Today, I am honored to be interviewing one of our elders, and that is none other than Dr. Cirino Oketayot, who is also my father. So it's a great privilege for me to surely interview him. Lady Cirino, you're highly welcome to this program.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
So tell us, who is Oketayot Cirino? And of course, yes, you tell us a bit how you ended up being in Palotaka. This whole program is all about Palotaka.
Um, Thank you so much, my daughter Winnie. It's a good coincidence. Uh, as you correctly mentioned, I'm Cirino Oketayot Oyiki, the son of Gabriel Oyiki. So I got exposed to Palotaka through my father Gabriel Oyiki, who took me to that school, and then he also was exposed to Palotaka through his sister Elinde Achilo, who was in Palotaka for her catechism. Then she saw the benefit of education. She saw many boys studying, so she decided to convince her brother also to join school there. So my father benefited from the school, and then also took his brother Archangelo Hakim. Then later when he took his other brother Geraldo Okot. So I joined Palotaka, I think about 1958 in primary one. It was very exciting. That time I did not even know how to wash my clothes quite well. So we were taken to wash our clothes in a year where they had the water pump. So I had a long stick. I just dipped my clothes in the water. I waited. And then after that,
You pulled it out.
I pulled it out. I've washed it. But
The sauce and
the
then
sauce-
maybe the portion.
Yes.
And it would be on a tray, right?
That's right. So what they do, particularly when there's meat, there's distribution in town. So you, the one who distribute it, you place it, everybody take it, then you'll be the last. Now you must make sure that it is the same. If you make
Equally
one,
distributed.
yes. If you make one, which is so. One of my friends also had a very interesting experience because at home, you know, you don't start taking meat, so you must take the soup.
Of course.
He's called Lapiang. This Lapiang guy, when this thing was being distributed, he waited. Then we people started. He
Picking
caught
out.
the hand of one person. Said, "Ikwanyo rerie, hello, kong lo chamo pige." So that became his name. Hello, kong lo chamo pige. Yeah. So everybody came with different experiences that was brought on board. And then the other interesting thing was weekend. We are supposed to go out to collect firewood. So in the evening, there's roll call, and then. So I used to sneak to, you know, the mother of Lawrence Sotika is my cousin.
Yes.
And by the way, I and Lawrence Sotika were said to have been born on the same day, except different
Hours.
hours. Yeah. So I used to come home, we play with those of Lawrence. Then one day we played a bit too late. Now I remembered, so, oh, we need to take firewood. So how do we go about it? Then Lawrence said, now what we do? We go to that place where firewood is.
Where they collect firewood.
No, where firewood is near the kitchen.
Okay.
So we went and collected those firewood,
The ready ones.
the ready one, saying that we were chasing the dog. Error, error, we were throwing the firewood,
You're throwing them out
throwing them out. Then we went from behind,
to connect them.
we collected them, we disappeared, appeared through the road. So, so those are some of the experiences we had. So that's how I got exposed. Then we used to have this bed that are made out of cotton. Then
Was that boarding? That was boarding, right?
yes,
Okay.
I went to boarding. I went to boarding, and then I was the only one who went with mattress, by the way, that cotton mattress.
Okay.
Yes, so I was taken with the cotton mattress. Then, since I did not know how to wrestle, so that's where we used to practice wrestling.
Wow.
So it became a wrestling
A
ground.
wrestling ground.
Yeah. So after 1 year, I think they realized there was no need for that. So I became just like everybody. And some of my experience, like I had Dr. Martin mention his.
Yes.
I want to share also. The beans we were eating was having a lot of worm, and this worm they used to put in Awigi King, so it floats. So what you do?
You just
Yeah.
push them aside.
That's right. And then the other interesting experience is that we used to sit in group. Huh?
Yes.
So,
While eating.
While eating, yes. We are, there's
And you
specific
share
places.
one.
Yes. There's one plate for. The other thing, this Clemeno team. Clemeno team worked with WP.
Yes.
You know, I was one of his babysitters.
Yes.
So during holidays, sometimes I stay, that's 10 days holidays, I stay with them at Lawrence. Lawrence was the day scholar, but I was a boarder. So we take them for, I don't know what it was, we call it kindergarten. Clement, together with Christopher Neck, the brother Lawrence. So we take them to the sister's place. So when they come back, because they ask them questions, if they answer well, they're given sweets. So they come home with sweets. Then we check. What did you learn? Say, polo, so they mastered that one as a way. And that was under one sister called Sister Remilde. I remember her very well. A thin, tall, and she used to speak actually very well. And she used to call the mother of Lawrence her sister. So they were very fond of one another. And then something, before I get deep, especially with Palotaka, our parents, like the father of Clement, that's Alexander Uyet, my father Gabriel, the father of Lawrence, Joseph Hakim, and then including the father of Dr. Stans. He was also the colleague of my father. Now something interesting also, their wives were colleagues in catechism. So they know themselves also. So those are the type of relationship that move from one generation to the next. And then we also, the children, we got to know ourselves very well.
Just a bit of the time that you were in school. Of course, we had the missionaries who came like in 1925. And what are some of the things during your school lifetime that you were there that you learned from these missionaries?
One is that the water system that was feeding the whole school, both boys and girls school, was a simple technology hydrant. We didn't know. So these people made a dam at Ayi. Then there's a small channel where the water goes. There was something like a pot, and that was the hydrant. So water goes into that system, then it pumps water alone. The water comes to a big tank that distributes it to the boys section, girls section, and then the side of the priest. And then they used to have a farm being run by one, I think he was a brother called Igolo. He was the one running the farm. And this is the farm that was feeding the seminary at Okaru. And then at Okaru there used to be a certain brother called Corbetta. This brother Corbetta had a lorry that he used to appear with it to Palotaka to take. Then, yeah. And they were also having a dairy farm. There was a brother called Opology. So this Opology guy was the one running that place. And
why are people participating in all these activities?
No, we just see it.
Okay.
Yeah, we just see it. But it was very exciting. When you're going, you see the stuff.
Could that also have played a role in you taking up your specialization in agriculture?
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. That also contributed. Let me come to that one later.
Okay.
Yeah. So the parish priest was called Vitalin. Very rigid guy. Very tough. He was fat and strong. So he used to come outside for preaching. Then Vitalin was Italian. Then I think there was another priest called Francis. He was, I think, American. Then Lynn used to play accordion. So we used to enjoy him. In fact, we should try to become like that. Now, the other interesting thing is the seminarians who used to come there. Those of Albino Toquaro, late. And then Tobias, late. When they come with that peso, very white. And one thing I learned from Tobias was that before you eat, you need to pray. Those days, food was not enough. So you always feel that the food which is there is not enough. So when you pray, when it's small, you will be satisfied. So we started praying over food.
And you in fact feel satisfied.
Yes,
when you eat.
psychologically. So when food is there, we say, by the way, let us pray. Because then we shall be satisfied. That's what happened. Then the other thing was ordination. So when Augustine Obama was being ordained into priesthood, we waited excitedly that he would turn to white because we wanted to join seminary so that when you join seminary, so that was our belief. Our
The
belief,
priest is Munu.
yeah, because all the priests were Muni. So so in the process of Tierone, we thought,
He would turn white.
yes, Agustino would turn white. Then he remained black. Then there's no need going to seminary.
So that discouraged you people.
Discouraged. I say, Tobia, the prayers is enough. People continue. Then in Palotaka, I was with Okui. We call him a Chakale. That's another interesting story. We're in the classroom with a Chakale, and his mother used to ride bicycle, no? We were busy in the classroom. A Chakale sees his mother riding a bicycle. He just walked out of the class. The teacher stopped him. Where are you going? Don't you see my mother is there? He brought Odi. Okay, Odi.
That was like for lunchtime?
No, you used to keep it at you keep it at your place. So Chakale left the class, he went to collect his OD. And Matthias said, no, wait. There's a lady called Anna Maria. That's the daughter of Anna Maria is one of those I took care of, together with those Clement. Those were the small kids that we used to take them to Sister Emilio. Yeah. So in Palotaka, yeah, the teachers, Mattia was soft in primary, and then Joseph Akim was staff administrator, together with Alex. We used to call him the Great. That was his nickname. So one time, I think during parade, one of our colleagues said, La Pointe the Great. You know the Great, wala katial man kedu. So Jomago lego dial kedia, who are entitled to call him the Great. You must call him La Pointe Alex. And then the most interesting one was Bishop Wilson Arrow. This is somebody who was very special in my life because Mattia could not control me. I was just playing. I repeated it.
You were playful.
So playful, I didn't give a damn to anything. Mattia used to just. But then when I came to B2, I used to lag behind it. Wilson was no nonsense there. Was teaching us actually that and arithmetic. When he's taking, when he marks wrong, he says banana, 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 banana.
Hey, that's it.
Yes, so he will count. You fail 10, it will be 10 lashes.
Oh my.
One banya.
Yes.
So at the end, now you must take a banya, put on it. So go in, he lash you, then you say it's enough. Then he mark the balance.
Carry over.
Carry over. So in the morning, you take a banya, you clear your banya.
Seriously? And
Yes.
you would keep that?
Yes, keeps the record. I tell you, I jumped from the tail there
Up to the front.
up to number 3.
Wow.
Up to number 3.
So you really needed strokes to
No, I didn't want it anymore. So when he appears, all of us have attention, very organized, and he was very smart. He also checked your clothes. That's another banyan. So we were very organized.
You started adjusting yourself.
Yes. So Wilson left a big record among most of the stubborn guys who at the end of the day appreciated that he really wanted to correct us. But there are other people who hated him that he's too harsh. Strictly speaking, he did not have any bad feeling towards anybody.
He just wanted all you guys to be good.
Yes,
and, like,
follow regulations.
yes.
Regulation is like this.
Should abide by it.
You should abide by it. Then another incident was when some of our boys sneaked to Calisoni. They came back late. So when they came back late, they were lashed. Then they started singing. That when they were being lashed, they were singing, Actually, milk Calisoni over. Actually, milk Calisoni over.
What is that supposed to mean?
Well, because they are over. The majority of them are from
Obo.
Yeah, that's right. So that set our background. And then something also to share that's very exciting was when I was getting prepared for my confirmation.
Did you have it in Palotaka?
Yes.
Okay.
I was confirmed by Bishop Mr. Mazzoldi. I was yes. He had very thick hand. Then he'll really slap you. Then he leaves the mark.
You feel I've really been confirmed.
Yeah, so we are really confirmed. Yeah. Interesting also, these people had very good database. I was very impressed. So when you're going for a confirmation, they ask you who are your parents, and they had filed for all the people who studied there. I found the name of my father was there. Then, because he was a special friend to Vitalin, because my auntie who took him to school happened to be the driver of Vitalin. It was called Alexander also. This Alexander guy was one of the soldiers in the First World War, so now he's driving his kids from there. So my father used to come during holidays, stay with Alexander, who is the driver. So they got that. Vitalin kept his record. That's special. What surprised me in the process of checking, he found that my father had 3 wives. So he wrote there that, Gabriel, when you come here next time, come with 3 ropes.
The women.
Yes. So, 1 rope will be to tie you with one of your wives. The other 2 ropes to pull your other 2 wives away.
Okay, so you remain with one.
Yes, you should remain with one.
And you should actually come for matrimonial. I think that is the target.
That was the message. Huh? Come with the 3 ropes, huh? 1 for tying you with one of your wives. The choice is yours. Which one is yours? So, what I'm trying to emphasize here is that they have very good database about everybody. So those of us who are confirmed also in our database. So those are some of the things that prepared me in Palotaka. So I was in primary 3 when the war broke out. Now, during the war also, there was another interesting incident. I think one of our colleague called Marino. This Marino guy, his mother also used to write. So they had people were dispersing, people were running away. So they came to collect their children. People are running in a disorganized. Then she said, don't run, there's no problem. She asked, where's Marino? Nobody said, knew where Marino was. So, so she started running back when she saw her son. Marino ring matek, Marino ring matek. Nini wajik peoring no mega. One Marino I'm ring one no komodo. So those are some of the funny stories that happened that side. And then yes, there was also bullying. Bullying, yeah, bullying. So I used to have this lamp in the room. So the older ones would say test. So to carry out the test, they cover
The lamp.
the lamp. People start beating each other.
What?
Yeah,
Like, proving what?
just bullying. So those are the type of things that used to happen in the boarding. And then some of us, the young ones and the disabled, we are kept near where the lamp is. So there people will start looking for somebody to beat. So when somebody cries hard, then they open the lamp. Yeah, so there used to be those type of bullying. People got injured. Yeah. So those are the things that happen. Now, bringing a connection with brother Jordan. Yes, it was brother Jordan who was running that place. And he was also a dentist, by the way. dentistry sector there.
So was that running the school?
Uh,
Or the
no, the school during our time was completely under the government.
okay.
The church, the brothers were running the farm to feed the seminar. Yeah, when we just arrived, there used to be what they call normal. I think the normal was for the brothers. Then there was a minute, which was run by late Joseph Uduko. He was the headmaster of the the school. So those are the things that happened that time. That farming, the maize. So when I came home, my grandfather used to like planting maize behind me. So I used to develop interest in discussing with him about maize. That's why I took interest in maize and became an expert in maize. So those are some things that originated from Palotaka. Yeah, and then that changed. Yes, even my siblings, by the way. So when I joined Palotaka, first all alone, then later my brother Jugot and Ngek joined. We left together. I think that was 61, 62 when the war broke. But when we came back after Addis Ababa, even my other siblings, those of not Lake, it was not even Rebecca, those of Labuli, those of Esther, and then because those of Colombo were a bit young when we came. So even my siblings benefited.
Alba.
Yes, Alba also benefited from it. So Palotaka has a lot of impact in our family.
And mainly on the agricultural bit of it. Should I say that?
No, the benefit of education.
The benefit of education.
Yes, it is important.
Because it was literally the root of your education, right? That's
Yes,
what you
the root of my education and then the foundation that it set. It made us like education. Yeah.
Are there other social life experiences that has really built you until today, that you feel that it was because of Palotaka that I am today in this kind of sector or in this kind of behavior and all that?
Yeah. One thing, those days, we only came to learn that people came from Panjok, came from Panjekwara, people came from Balwa. But that division, ganging separately, was not there. We used to be one group, and even when we scattered, we did not forget ourselves.
Till today.
Till
I
today.
see there is a way you people still bond.
Yes,
Today.
that bondage has remained intact, and that if you see, we have a certain pattern of life, being simple.
Yes.
We are simple, and then committed to our profession, and we are there always to provide services
To the community.
to the community.
Yes.
Even at our home, you remember our place in Nairobi,
Yes.
it had no boundary.
Yes.
All the Acholis were welcome there. All the people from Eastern Equatorial, you have Lotukos, you have Malis coming and staying with us.
People were so united.
Yes, people were so united that being ready to serve the others. And then mentorship. Everybody that went through us, remember that every time we're together, we try to make people commit positively. Yeah.
Now, what is one thing that is so special that you remember about Palotaka?
One thing that I remember about Palotaka is the buildings. Those buildings were made out of bricks that were locally made, and the tiles that were locally made, and which are still there, intact in many ways, except the ones where the wind removed the roof. And then they did not use cement, by the way, only soil. You see, so that building, and then you see the magnitude of that building, that time, the type of technology that was committed. Those Italians were few, so the main
And they did quality work.
yes, they did quality work, and then the local people who worked with them.
Yes.
The only unfortunate thing is that all that skill people use it in Palotaka, they hardly practice.
Yes, yes.
See?
Because you rarely see actually proper buildings like
That's right.
type structure.
Yeah. So people had the believe that those type of buildings are only for the mission
And not for themselves.
not for themselves. So those are some of the things that I remember about Palotaka. And
Right.
then that road, okay, from the mission coming down, it was always kept.
For the
It was kept very well. There was not much erosion.
okay,
Yeah.
well maintained.
Yes, and then the other thing I remember from Palotaka is when the Norwegian church came on board, they started with Torit Mission, then they moved to Palotaka. So when I studied my agriculture, first I became the first farm manager in Palotaka. So all of soon used to stay at the brother's place in Palotaka Mission. So they also, that place has impact on the success of the Norwegian church aid in the region. Yeah, so those are some of the things that Palotaka brought. And then the local people were also quite committed. They became quite religious and quite committed towards at least the basic agriculture. If you see it closely, their standard of agriculture around Palotaka Mission was better than elsewhere. So those are some.
So we've had a lot about your experience, and I would like to say now it's few days to the Palotaka, or 100 years, or the centenary celebration of the Palotaka. But again, back to you, what does Palotaka mean to you now that we are coming to the 100 years of its celebration?
Palotaka means a lot. It is only unfortunate. Palotaka by now should be beyond that, because a good part of the 100 years found the people in exile. So from the 60s up to today. So
That
Palotaka,
should have been done.
yes. So those are the unfortunate things. Otherwise, the commitment people had for Palotaka, by now, Palotaka could be having a college of its own. So those are the unfortunate things that during the centenary, we want to remember it. I think we'll try to also have trace or build that database of everybody that studied in Palotaka. We need to commit ourselves. We need to remind our children. We need to remind our grandchildren that we should do something. Whether it means a certain group can go for the window, a certain group can go for the roof, a certain group, I think everybody who benefited from Palotaka in one way or another. Today, we are going for the centenary to celebrate, but that should be an opportunity for us to remind. You see, today,
Start rebuilding it.
yes, today we in St. Charles, Luanga, in Juba, that effort we made out of the blue. Now, it should be possible for us to do the same thing. I don't mean to say we leave that one. We complete that one very quickly, then we give ourselves not more than 5 years. Palotaka Church should
Stand up again.
stand up better than the Selwanga one. All right.
Okay.
So those are some of the things that I think makes me happy that we are coming together.
Yes.
We know many of our colleagues are not there, But we try to trace ourselves. We try to trace their children, their grandchildren, so that we know that we have something special about Palotaka.
Great. Well, just as you've heard, we really hope and we are very optimistic that we shall rebuild Palotaka again. And you must have all been knowing that on the 11th of January, we shall all be in Palotaka to celebrate the centenary celebration. And just to let you know, we are having this interview live in Ayom, in Katire Ayom, that is in Magwi County, in the village. With this, can I please ask you to please, what is your last message to our viewers outside there in regards to this centenary celebration that is happening?
I would like to participate in inviting everybody, at least our friends and everybody who heard about Palotaka, to remember this day is very special. Let us make every effort to be around. Let us make every effort to be around, and whatever contribution we can come with along during the occasion, let us try our level best to come with it so that we get started. If some people have windows, let them come with it.
Great.
If some people have doors, let them come with it. If some people have nails, let them come with it. So we should really come and start saying that this occasion is for laying foundation.
Exactly.
All right?
Yes.
This occasion is for rehabilitation. You never know. Perhaps we will run around and start fixing some of those bricks back.
It's
So
so
those are the
possible.
things that I think we should really try to work for. Thank you so much. And then I also feel grateful. This is my daughter.
Thank you.
the, among the youngest. So the rest watching will definitely join them. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
I'm
sir.
grateful you have participated well in the occasion.
Thank you so much, and we surely appreciate your time in participating in this interview. Well, our online viewers, that was our elder, Dr. Cirino Oketayot Cirino, in this interview. And that brings us to the end of the interview. Please like our page, share this page so that you get to know more about the Palotaka updates. We shall be catching up on the 11th of January in Palotaka, Magwi County, Eastern Equatoria State. Stay blessed.